can now be said of the U.S. Capitol and the U.S. Treasury building. Brian Jenkins, are you with me?
Yes, I am.
You heard Mr. Kallstrom talking about responding to this kind of an attack, if that's what it was. That's something easily said. Is it doable?
Well, it is doable. The question is, first of all, it's far too early to talk about what may be possible to do in response. I mean, clearly, an action like this will provoke some type of response, but then that really requires first figuring out who did it, and then figuring out what the appropriate response is.
Can you play process of elimination in answering who did it? Can you not eliminate some possibilities because they did not have the resources, the coordination, the expertise to do this?
You know, you have to be very, very careful both about jumping to conclusions as to who to blame and ruling out people prematurely. Many years ago, analysis of something like this used to be easier because we dealt with a number of identifiable terrorist organizations, each of which had its own identifiable capabilities and modus operandi. Today, it is a much more fluid organization from universes of like-minded fanatics. These various conspiracies are put together, and so, in fact, if we drop back to the plot that was discovered just before the Millennium celebrations in the United States, that involved some Algerians who, in turn, are believed to have been connected to Osama bin Laden. You know, one sees these assemblies of conspiracies that may involve many actors.
Again, a further note, and we're getting this as it comes in. We understand now, we're getting a report that the FAA has halted all takeoffs, all traffic nationwide, that all aircraft are grounded. Obviously, there are those aircraft in the air. If they're bound for New York, they're going to arrive and find airports closed. But whether or not those in the air are going to be brought down to the nearest facility as soon as possible is still unclear. Is there a standard procedure amid all this, Mr. Jenkins? Mr. Jenkins, you still with me? Evidently, we've lost our line to Brian Jenkins. Let's just bring you up to speed on the picture you're seeing on your screen. On the left is the World Trade Center. We have smoke billowing out of both towers. It has been for over an hour now. We also have smoke coming out of a portion of the Pentagon on the right-hand side of your screen. That has been going on for about 10 or 15 minutes. It would seem that the United States on this day is under attack from terrorists. That the first aircraft was
Howell.
The first blow in that attack. It was an aircraft that an eyewitness has described to us as a 737. It struck the World Trade Center at its upper levels at 8:45, or within minutes of that this morning. And then 18 minutes after that, there was this frightening scene of a second aircraft plowing into the other tower.
5 out of
the southern
9.
tip of Manhattan. This on a clear day when visibility was perfect for flying. It would seem that both aircraft were directly targeting the World Trade Center, a building that has, or a facility that was the scene of a terrorist attack back in 1993. That attack killed 6 and left over 1,000 injured. Although we have no reports of casualties or injuries at this point, it would seem that we can expect those numbers to be much worse today. Shortly after that attack, the president came forward in Florida with a brief address to the nation, promising the full resources and saying this will not stand. And then he is flying back to Washington. Once he gets there, he'll find the White House, the Capitol, and the Treasury have been evacuated, and he'll find the Pentagon is ablaze. Victimized again by yet another attack, this one in the nation's capital. That one came at about 9:30 Eastern Time. Bill Plant is standing by with us at the White House or thereabouts. Bill, where are you and what are you getting?
Hello?
Bill? Bill Plant is standing by. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get our communication through with him. We are getting a report here. I'm looking. Paul Begala, Democratic consultant to Bill Clinton, is being quoted on the wire as saying,
Willie, you gotta go come here.
Two planes crashed in the World Trade Center. He says it was a
Richard,
huge fireball,
Michael,
orange
James
fireball.
McCormick.
And he says another witness told him that a helicopter exploded. He is saying that another witness told him a helicopter exploded. Let's go to Bill Plant. Bill can't hear me, but I understand we can get his audio. So let's go ahead and signal Bill to tell us what he's got.
Bill Plant in Washington. I am across the street from the White House on the other side of Lafayette Park, approximately 1 block away. They have evacuated the entire White House staff and the staff of the old executive office building next door. We understand that the Treasury is also being evacuated. There's a lot of activity, fire trucks, ambulances, but as far as we know, there is no damage in the White House complex. I repeat, no damage that we know of in the White House complex. But this was in response to damage elsewhere, to the New York aircraft incidents and to whatever it was that happened at the Pentagon. But this is a full alert. The Secret Service has moved everybody away from the White House grounds, away from the White House complex, and they keep telling us that we have to remain a block away. There are fire trucks going by, ambulances going by, headed we know not where. But this is obviously a precautionary measure because no one clearly knows what to expect next. Right?
All right, Bill Plant. And again, Bill is unable to hear us. We were able to get his audio in here, but as you can imagine, it is I'm sure a frantic scene down in the nation's capital this morning, as it is here in New York, as we've been watching down at the southern tip of Manhattan. Jane Clayson is with me here in New York, and I apologize for talking throughout, but you've been watching. Go ahead, Jane.
Well, I just wonder how many people are in the building right now. We haven't been able to assess if people have been coming out of the building, if there have been people on the ground. One man reportedly had some burns from some debris that had fallen from the building, but we still haven't been able to assess if there are injuries, or obviously there are many hundreds or if not thousands of people affected, says James Kallstrom, formerly at the FBI, but we still don't know that, and that's one looming question.
Yeah, I mean, you at this point, you hate to jump to conclusions and you don't want to throw numbers around, but if, and again, I put if in capital letters, if we are talking about two commercial aircraft plowing into the World Trade Center during business hours or shortly before the business day begins at 9 a.m., we are talking about some considerable numbers of dead and injured.
And not just at the World Trade Center, now at the Pentagon in Washington as well.
Also at the Pentagon. And we're looking at a list of some of the businesses on the upper levels of the World Trade Center, and none of them have any affiliation with the government. But again, the World Trade Center isn't necessarily a government building. It is there's U.S. Customs above the 70th floor, but the World Trade Center, more than anything, is a symbol of the United States, a symbol of
call him King of Macedonia now again, like he did the first time, James Carter.
Wall Street, and so if in fact it was targeted.
Grandpa, call George to the stand.
Producer Laura Shane was by the Pentagon when it was hit. Let's go there again. She can't hear us, but she can speak with us. Laura, somebody cue her.
There's Christopher. May I say I love you?
All right. Obviously, we're having problems with Laura.